Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm one of the designers on Hoverdome. I'm not supposed to be the face of anything. I like being in the background, so
Too bad!
it's much easier for me to tell you guys to have to be in videos. But I obviously
You forced both of us into this video. You're going to be playing just as much of a part.
Yeah. So why did I want to make a game? I wanted to make a game for a couple reasons. One, I love games, and I was in the video game market for a few years as a producer and director, and I had some ideas about what I wanted to do, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of learn how to do board games as opposed to video games, and I found them very different in terms of approach and concept. The second one is my son Derek. So we would play games, and there's only so sophisticated of a game you can play with a 6-year-old, right? And as a parent, you just try to suck it up and do your best and enjoy playing Candyland or, Chutes and Ladders for the 4 millionth time. And I'm like, there has to be a way to make a game that is like fun for adults and for kids and can hold the attention of, both parties and maybe even scale over time. Anyway, so it was kind of like a challenge to see what we could do. And I thought I had some good source material that I could draw from too. And so because I have that source material, my inspiration for Hoverdome was actually my own science fiction series called Democracy Revival. And in the third and fourth books, there's a place called the Hoverdome that's featured, and it's all about hoverbike racing. And one of the characters is, an enthusiast, and eventually there's a whole chapter dedicated to a race that she is in. And I thought this could make a really great game. I'm also a huge favorite of kart racers. I helped to develop a concept when I was in the industry, and there's Mario Kart and other things that are out there, and I thought it was just a really fun concept for a theme. So how did I know how to make a board game? I didn't. One of the things that I enjoy doing is learning as much as I can about things, and when I was diving into learning how to design board games, there are so many fantastic books out there that not only talk about the theory, but are actually almost like workbooks that kind of help you work through the process of breaking down existing games and understanding dynamics and then learning how to build systems and how to balance systems and things that you're just not going to know instinctively unless you're some kind of genius, and that's not me. So I actually used a book called The Game Design Workshop, and I used the very first edition, and it really steps you through almost like a class would in game design. So designing a game, so I used the Game Design Workshop book to go through, and I did the exercises, and I actually ended up creating 2 games. Hoverdome was one of them, and there's another one that I made called Villainy that people might see in the future. We also did something locally called Protospiel. And so there is a community of game designers that come together in different cities, and you get to present concepts, and you get playtesters that come in, and you also get people from the industry that give you feedback. And so early on, after Matt had started to design some of the early graphics and board design that wasn't my paper prototype, at one of the Protospiels, we had James Matthews get a chance to look at it, give us some feedback on it, twice actually. And so it was really helpful to get that feedback from people who were in the industry to help shape it. For instance, like we had dice to help move the bikes initially, and we found out very quickly that it was not welcomed, that it was too random, and people like control and to be able to create strategies as opposed to the luck of the dice that people didn't want. So that's how I learned, is through my own education and through mentors and feedback. Yeah, so testing the design, as I mentioned, was done with multiple test groups. So we've actually done somewhere over 100 different usability studies on the prototypes. We've gone to protospiels, which are the community events for game designers and enthusiasts to come in and look at developing concepts. We've done that. We've had consultants look at it and give us feedback about ways to tune it for a harder core audience, a more strategic audience. And we've also talked to our friends who are on a complete spectrum of game players, from casual to very hardcore strategy. So all of that has helped us test the product. What has changed about the game over time? While the central theme has stayed the same, the way that players move around the board migrated from dice to movement cards. We've put events on the movement cards. We have expanded the types of systems with the debris system, and tried to add some additional diversity to the gameplay experience so that it really caters to more gameplay styles, whether you're aggressive or defensive, or want to play it fast or slow or whatever. We really enhanced the game systems to be richer and more strategic and interesting. I learned that designing a game is very involved. I do think it's a fantastic opportunity to express yourself and to be able to truly create something that represents your own passions and interests. I think the other side of that is you also want your game to appeal to other people. So playing a game, you just get to enjoy the experience because the designers have worked very hard to create something that you could enjoy. And when you design a game, it's the opposite. You actually have quite a burden to figure out what is fun, what looks good, what's going to be appealing to people, and how do you create a really fantastic time for an individual if they're playing a solo game, or a couple that might be just doing a dual thing, or a whole game night's worth of people. So it's very different, but pretty cool. I love how every game has something unexpected and fun in it. I'm really proud of the fact that we've created a game that tells a story as you play and has humor to it, and a number of different things in terms of like a take that kind of mentality. And what's even more frustrating is when you're the person trying to do the take that and the other person like dodges and defends and like doesn't get hit by it, then you're the person who had it like come back at you. You're like, ah. So it's just fun. I love that. And I think we can be really proud of what we've accomplished. So why Kickstarter? And I think that's a great question. And I think it has a really simple answer, and that is we are a part of the Kickstarter community and have been for a long time. I have over 100 that I have personally backed. I know Matt has done somewhere between 50 to 60. I've got Super Backer on my name now. And, we believe in the Kickstarter platform. We love being able to help other people bring their passions to life and to fund their ideas. And we hope that we can attract the same love back from the community. I think the other reason too is we get to represent Hoverdome the way we want. I think it's one thing to be able to go to agents and to publishers, and I love them all and I think they're fantastic. But they also have the right to change the game however they want to, and that's their prerogative. And we want to be able to be authentic in how we want to present Hoverdome, and so Kickstarter gives us that platform to do it.